Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Nick Armenis here, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to come up with a Google Ads strategy for any business. A lot of people really overcomplicate Google Ads, and realistically, if you understand how they work and then how to optimize and scale, you are able to run Google Ads for literally any business. In saying that, certain businesses do well or better with Google Ads than others. That's just a fact. I've seen it, other people see it. It's not to say that you cannot make them in some way, shape or form profitable for your business. Are they expensive? Yes, at times they can be expensive, but they are really high quality, high intent traffic when done right, and can lead to many, many sales, and it can lead to many businesses being able to scale through them. Google Ads have made advertising en masse much, much easier, and I think people are very, very quick to forget how trickier and harder advertising was in the past and how expensive it was. Advertising has never been cheap. So when people say to me, Google Ads are expensive, I'm asking them compared to what? Compared to running around and trying to find customers, because that's expensive. You're paying with time, with staff, with energy, with stress. All of these things have a cost. In terms of how quickly you can get your Google Ads up and running, like nothing beats it. Like even Meta ads, they take way longer to get up and running. In terms of actually seeing impressions and that, yes, Google Ads can be slow. The actual scaling process is slower, but in terms of how easy they are to run, in my opinion, is much, much simpler. They are also far more stable and consistent, and contrary to popular belief, they are scalable if you know what you're doing, and they can be profitable if you know what you're doing. Now, how do you make a strategy for any business? You need to understand what's available within the Google Ads platform, like what campaigns, how they all work, what they're good for, what they're not good for, which ones to focus on at the start, which ones to focus on when you're scaling, and then what settings and options to scale. How do you do it? So understanding what's available. I'm going to focus on e-commerce here. I'll make a few comments around lead gen and other businesses, but really in terms of how to come up for any business, the campaigns are all very similar, whether it's e-commerce, lead gen, anything like that. For e-commerce, you're really going to be relying on shopping or PMax. You're going to have to choose one of those. You can also run a shopping campaign alongside PMax. There's lots of videos on how to do that here. It's not as straightforward as just doing it. It does require a little bit of tweaking. And really, you're relying on those because most sales come from the shopping tab and the top of Google where there's an image. These types of ads, shopping, and PMax kind of for e-commerce businesses is mainly like a smart shopping campaign with a little bit of other bits and pieces in it. PMax will also cover your remarketing as well, so that's really handy. But understanding that you may not want to start off with a display or a search ad, while it may seem silly for people that are just starting out or people that aren't aware of the platform, what it does, need to know that, hey, if I could just start and pick one campaign, it would be either of those. Now, that's not to say you cannot make the other campaigns work. It's just, hey, what's the best option available to me? It's this. This is what you go with. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And how many campaigns do you need? What settings, this and that? Optimize for conversion value. Don't set a target return on ad spend at the start unless you already have ads running and are getting a consistent ROAS. Do not set one. And then how many campaigns? Just start off with one. I know everyone's like, oh, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to. Just start off with one campaign with everything in it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't listen to people who are PPC marketers who they get so granular into this. They're experts. Like, you cannot compare their knowledge to yours. And you realistically, I find most of the time, people go, oh, this is best, but that's just what they've been doing for so long. And maybe I'm guilty of that as well, but having less campaigns in my experience leads to better results for most businesses. Unless they're starting to hit some bigger numbers, yes, we will need to add more campaigns. But initially at the start, you can get to 6 and even 7 figures per month with a single campaign. You could add a branded search in there as well to cover off the branded terms. And you could do a very, very similar thing with lead gen. With lead gen though, I would say, you need to understand, again, it's a slightly different mindset, right? With e-commerce, we're trying to get the sale of a product. Now, what do people go to Google for? They go there for solutions, they go there for information, and they go there to find, a lot of the time, like either a next step or like, hey, I'm in such dire need, I need this solution now. That could be a service or a product. Understanding how that ad platform works in serving those ads to people is extremely important. It's an auction-based system, and basically you as an advertiser are going, hey, I'm willing to spend $1 to appear for this term. Google decides a lot of this stuff. For PMax and shopping, you've got very limited ability, but the more conversion data you feed it, the smarter it will get, and the better that result will get over time because it has more info. With lead gen, I don't really like using Performance Max, not that I am a lead generation expert, but I would go more down the search, text-based campaigns, select the keywords and select a range. You know, potentially you could, and this is again, understanding how the ad platform works. You need to know that Google, people say that it over-indexes for bottom of funnel, and I do tend to agree, but there's different, even within bottom, middle, top of funnel, these are just terms that marketers phrase, but realistically, you could start off with the exact product, like it could be a red men's Nike running shoe insert model number, right? But then you could go further up the funnel and just be like Nike running shoes. Then you could go further up and go Nike shoes or running shoes, and even at the top there's shoes, and then there's other things where it's like, my feet hurt when running, which shoes should I buy? People are Googling things like that, right? So your ads can appear for those things in shopping and in search as well, and in other areas of YouTube, for example, as well. So using the best available campaign for your intended purpose is vital in coming up with a strategy. One thing I haven't touched on too much is also making sure that if you are already getting traffic, say you're running meta ads and you haven't run any Google ads before, setting up your remarketing correctly so that you can quickly get some wins, particularly if you're an agency. The best thing you can do is jump into a business, whether you're an agency or an e-commerce store wanting to do Google ads. If you can get yourself some quick wins, you will start, enjoying the platform, you'll learn more about it, or if you have a client, your client will trust you more. And if you can keep getting results, they'll stick around, right? But if you can get those quick wins, people will trust you, people will have confidence in you, and knowing what to do quickly is important. So best bet for any business already running traffic is make use of the traffic you're already getting and remarket the hell out of them. A PMax campaign will do that, but also a branded search. You could do a remarketing search ad only as well. You could do display ads, you could do discovery, demand gen, YouTube, all those things. But really the best bang for buck ones will be your branded search, PMax for shopping, and then a search campaign if you are in lead gen. Going back to lead gen a little bit, sorry, we're jumping around a little bit, but a lead gen campaign is slightly different when we're running search ads to say a PMax, because you don't have a product, you have a service. So the actual landing page is extremely important. If your landing page isn't related to the search term that people click, but it's then related to the ad, then the person's not going to convert. And landing page CRO, while extremely important in e-commerce as well, I find is a really big factor in lead gen in terms of turning it around, because the lead gen cost per clicks are normally extremely high. And that's why a lot of the time trade-based businesses, service-based businesses stop, because they're like, man, I've spent so much money and I've gotten barely any leads, but it's often their page that really sucked. Whereas in e-commerce, product pages are quite standard as long as it's really clear, the title. If you've got some images, videos as well, ideally, and then a really good description, and some trust, the website looks trustworthy, you can get a sale for a cheapish product quite easily, much easier than, getting a plumber out or something like that. It's just, people really need the correct information there, and they need to have the trust, and it needs to be really easy for them. So again, not a lead gen expert, but I know that the landing page is really important, and it is in e-commerce as well, don't get me wrong. But now that you've kind of got a little bit of an overview, my suggestion would be, go in and understand how Google ads work, what's available, go through every campaign type. I will release more videos showing you what to do with each campaign, what they're good for. But that's your starting point. Use this info and then go and work out, hey, this is my business, this is what I'm doing now. How can I utilize what's on this network to get more leads, to get more sales? Understanding that is what's stopping you from doing well. Without that understanding, it's going to be very hard. So hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys.